Hello, my name is Dylan Hall, and fall is finally here, and you know what that means. Countless pumpkin-themed items are also here. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin coffee, pumpkin tea, pumpkin cereal. And I love pumpkins, but I mean, it's a lot of pumpkins. Like everything is a pumpkin. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you a little tutorial on how you could draw a pumpkin. Of course, there's all kinds of ways you could draw a pumpkin, and I'm sure the way you do it will be different from how I'm going to do it, but it's nice to have a little bit of a foundation. I think this is a fun way to do it and a simple way to do it. So I'm going to be using digital just for ease of recording a video, but you could do this on a piece of paper as well. So I'm going to be starting out very lightly with a circle. And that's going to be the foundation of most things, to be honest, but also the foundation of this pumpkin. And I'm doing it very lightly because we're going to go on top of this eventually and darken some of the lines. So now that you have your circle, and we're just going to go over and over again until we kind of get more of the shape that we want. We're going to go here to the top of the circle, and we're going to do a sort of swooping arc right here. And then directly underneath, we're going to go to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing. A swooping arc. And it's like these two are sort of meeting each other at the end right here. We're going to do another arc, but do it slightly smaller. And instead of going into this sort of circle that we have here, I'm going to try to follow the path of this right here until we get to about here, and then I'm going to come out a little bit. So we have our two arcs here, and then we have one long arc coming around and connecting to these two arcs here. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. I don't have as much of a path to follow here, but that's okay. Here in the sketching stage, it's better to think of it as sculpting, like you're sculpting with clay, rather than you're just drawing a solid object, because that's really what we are doing, is we are going around and we are sculpting, and we're doing it very lightly so that if we make a little mistake, we can kind of correct it a little easier, because we can kind of draw over what we messed up instead of going backwards. So now we have, with the arcs in the middle and the two arcs sort of connecting here on the side, you're starting to see that it is looking more like a pumpkin already. And you can see here I'm going and sort of correcting, making this a little rounder. And having these connect here rather than, say, here is giving the pumpkin a little bit more of a dimensionality to it. Because now it no longer looks like it's flat, because this comes out a little more. It looks as though the pumpkin is this sort of round shape rather than being just a flat drawing, which of course is what it is, but we don't want it to look that way. Now when it comes to the stem of the pumpkin, you could be pretty creative with this. Of course, there's just kind of the sort of default one if you want to. I'm gonna do one and I'm gonna have it go like kind of point like that, and then put a little leaf on mine, because why not? Sometimes there's taller pumpkins, but you can apply the same thing that we have done for this one, right? You're just taking the circle, that initial circle that we did, and making it more of an oval. We're gonna do the arc up here, arc down here, Make sure they're kind of connected. And then you can start at the bottom too if you want, I suppose. And following all the way up to the top, creating our 3 little arc shapes around the circle that create our pumpkin shape and give the pumpkin some dimensionality. And then the stem, you can kind of just do whatever you want with. Pumpkins can come in all kinds of different shapes, so it really is up to you. But these 3 little arcs right here really just make it, or what's going to make it look like a pumpkin. But outside of that, I mean, it's kind of up to you. Sometimes pumpkins look a little more like a squash, so we could do this kind of shape instead of a circle if you really wanted to get creative with it. And then just taking those 3 little arcs. Now this is a little different, so you're gonna have to follow along and kind of maybe do something like that. But still following those 3 arcs, and it's just kind of, it's a fun and quick way to draw a pumpkin. And you can have a lot of creativity with it. So there's kind of a squished pumpkin. And you can make these, I suppose, as long as you would like. They don't have to end right where I ended it with this one. You could have the arc shapes go in a total circle even if you wanted to, and really have them fully connect. It's up to you. You can darken all of the lines that you made just to make it more clear when someone comes and looks at your sketch. Because sometimes when we are drawing as the artist, we see it in our head and we go, oh yeah, that looks like how I want it to look. But then people come up to it and they see all of our messy lines, and they might not fully get what you're going for, so you can go through and darken up your sketch, and it makes everything a lot clearer and a little bit more finished looking. Now when it comes to coloring, you of course can use whatever you want. You could use a marker, or you could just sketch the colors in with a colored pencil. And once again, this is one of the fun things with pumpkins, is you can just kind of be creative with it, because pumpkins come in a few different colors, so they don't always have to be orange with the brown stem or green stem like we usually see. You have a variety of colors you can choose from when coloring in your pumpkins. So be creative. You don't have to do the colors I'm doing. These are just the colors I've chosen to do. So there we have it. Using the same formula, we have 3 different looking pumpkins. So you just start with that circle shape, that really light circle shape, lightly going in with those 3 connected arcs, with that front one kind of being more lower down, so that it gives it more of a round dimensionality to the pumpkin. And it's just doing those 3 arcs is going to give you that look of a pumpkin, but you can be so creative with the shape of the pumpkin and what you use as the base shape. You don't have to use just a nice little circle like the first one. That's going to give you kind of that classic pumpkin look, but you can do, all kinds of things. It's kind of fun because pumpkins can come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes and colors as well. So you can really be creative with it. This is just usually how I draw pumpkins, and it's a quick little formula, and you can get yourself some nice looking little pumpkin sketches for the fall season, or even when it's not the fall season, if you just really like pumpkins. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Of course, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Everything is a pumpkin.